Thank you for watching as I revise the textbook I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history. Bible Believer Looks at World History, um, which I sell on Amazon in Kindle or paperback form. It's also on Lulu.com. So I'm going to pick up where I left off last time. Now, Archbishop Usher has Moses' death in 1451 BC, as well as the destruction of Jericho and the coalition of forces led by the king of Jerusalem against Joshua. His campaigns are detailed in the book that bears his name, and he dies in Usher's chronology in 1443 BC. Many historians give a much later date of the early 1200s BC for the events of Exodus and Joshua, so just so you're familiar with different trains of thought on that. Now, Israel had peace in the land it was conquering, but almost immediately fell into apostasy. And the disasters that occurred in the book of Judges, with men and women who were rulers and deliverers being raised up to defend Israel, making their appearance. Now, during this period, as Usher quotes, Julius Africanus, a king Belus, ruled Assyria. Then his son, who called himself Ninus, founded the Assyrian Empire, which continued for 520 years. The period of the judges ends with Samuel, as Saul is anointed king in 1095 BC, with David succeeding him in 1055 BC. Solomon begins building the temple in 1013 BC. Israel is at the height of its worldly glory under the reign of Solomon. Turning back to secular historians who date the reign of Tiglath-Pileser I over Assyria from 1116 to 1093 BC, leading that country to be a dominant force in the Middle East for over 5 centuries. The mainland Greeks, called Achaeans, take to the sea, and the siege and destruction of Troy supposedly takes place in 1184 BC, although this is controversial. It's also about this time, from 1100 BC onward, that we are told that the Greek peoples began to form the identity by which we know them today from our investigations of their written history. Now, if you jump over to India, the Aryan invasions have produced, after 1400 BC, a new Hindu civilization in the Ganges River Valley. The great Hindu religious epic, the Rig Veda, is composed against this backdrop, and the time is known as the Vedic period. Historical China has emerged after 1600 BC. The Olmecs are in Mexico, and the Chavín culture is in the Andes Mountains of Peru. There's still a great deal of migration in the South Pacific, going from west to east. In this general time period in Egypt, we have what may be the pharaoh who succeeded the one killed by God in the Red Sea, Thutmose III, with his aunt Hatshepsut helping him rule, then Amenhotep III, who Durant says lived a life of worldly luxury before cashing in his chips. His son, Amenhotep IV, was destined to be known as Akhenaten or Ikhnaton, who demanded that Egypt stop worshiping its many gods and worship only one. I believe that this was a natural reaction to the disaster of the Egyptian experience with God the Creator in regard to the plagues of Moses and the Red Sea catastrophe. Now, I want to talk next about Egyptian religion and Ikhnaton, and some other things that I think are very interesting. Of course, this is all me. I think it's interesting, and you might not. Well, you wouldn't be watching if you didn't. Anyway, I hope you like it. Click like and subscribe or follow and share the video if you like. Feel free to make comments. Thank you.